Hello! In this video we'll be dragging innocent kids back to school, and I'll be showing you the most difficult thing I've built so far. There will be lots of struggling, but the result will be more than worth it. Hello, my name is TJ, and I'm on a journey to create a habitat for every single month of the year. And it's that time again. The sounds of children scream and cry, dreams being crushed and splattered, a spooky vibe hanging in the air. No, I'm not talking about Halloween, I'm talking about back to school in September, of course. That's what this video is all about. So first of all, why did I choose back to school? You might be thinking, isn't that different all over the world? And that is correct. There's people who go back in September, but also some at the end of August, some even in June. People in the southern hemisphere usually go back in March. In Japan, they just go wild and go back in April for whatever reason. I don't know. But generally, kids go back to school around September in the northern hemisphere, and that's where I am. Also, I had a pretty cool idea for a habitat, and I just really wanted to make it. Okay, so I could keep this simple and just throw a bunch of kids into a classroom, educate them, and call it a day, but that's boring. So I'm gonna make this habitat exactly what back to school really feels like. Every kid hates going back to school, right? But TJ, I like going back to school. Shut up! Everybody hates it, right? And I really just want to build a school that has turned into a monster that steals kids away from their fun summer vacation and drags them back to class. But I gotta admit something. I already built the set. Basically because my ideas were crazy difficult for this one. I don't know what got into me. I make easy builds. Sometimes they're a bit harder, but generally okay. But this time I went for extremely difficult. I don't know why I tortured myself like this, but this build is monstrous. So let me try to deconstruct this and tell y'all how I made it. If I ever get this back together, that is. I started with a plate. No, wait, I started with an idea, or no, okay. Okay, I had this idea that I really wanted to create a hopscotch area on a playground, but that proved to be a challenge. Because to create that on such a small scale means I have to use jumper plates to lay them out correctly. But then they just weirdly sit above ground level and it just doesn't look good at all. So I need to raise the floor a level. So now I started with a plate and used a bunch of different plates to build it up a level. The colors didn't really matter because they'll be covered up anyway, except here at the side where I really wanted to create a black border to make it look clean. So, you know, I went on my jolly way, laying down the floor tiles, thinking I was so smart that I solved everything, but I was wrong. I quickly realized that there was this tiny gap that I just couldn't fill in. It was impossible. The only way I could do this was by putting a tile on its side like this, but if I didn't want it to stick out like this, I had to raise the floor another level. So I destroyed it all and started again. Yahoo! First with a plate, then one layer, leaving some holes here for those sideway plates, can't forget about those. Adding another layer with jumper plates, and then trying to build the hopscotch and the floor. And this time it actually worked nicely. Except for this part here that looks kinda weird with this half a brick wide gap, but it looks enough like the first step of some stairs going down, so it could potentially make sense. If you squint your eyes a little. Good enough for me. So here we have it. Was it worth it? Yes, absolutely, and I'd do it again. Look at that rainbow hopscotch. So what more am I planning for this build? The monster school, of course, that'll go on this side of the build, but I'll first go to the other side. Here I want some sort of half wall, like some sort of fence to keep the children on the playground. That's all good and stuff, but trying to build that here is awkward. There's just no studs to build on. Oh, why am I doing this to myself? But no worries, I figured it out. Oh yes, I figured it out. Under this ground layer are studs, and I can reach those by using this half plate, half tile sort of part. That will mean that this entire side of the wall will be supporting on this one part though. Is this a good idea? No. Will I do it? Absolutely yes. So I built the wall about this high and then stopped because I don't want it to go any higher, otherwise it won't be a half wall anymore. So now we need to build the sky. But building it on top where the wall of the habitat would have to be just looked. So I'm gonna break the rules and add more layers, as if the floor doesn't have enough yet, and put the sky one block behind the wall. Looks way better in the front, but looks more and more complicated in the back. But Shh. Okay, now it's time for the monster school.
Another difficult part.
I started by putting down some red plates here and with some red bricks build a doorway. I want this to be the scary mouth. I used some snot bricks to which I added these fangs and rotten teeth pieces and put them in the doorway. Next I built it up with 2 black bricks and added the same row of teeth at the top here to create the mouth. Doesn't it look like it could just gobble you up? After this I continued to build up the school and made some evil window eyes with some slopes. Of course I made sure to add red glass for that blood-seeking horror gaze. It does however feel a bit flat though. So I did what I always do and destroyed it again to add something extra, because why not, you know? I wanted to add some kind of roof or entryway kind of thing here. So I took this plate and used these hollow studs to add these candlestick parts to it. This makes them look like pillars. Or are they extra teeth? It's honestly giving me some saber-tooth vibes. But ta-da! We're done. Wait, we're not. There's no children. Hold on a second. Let me fix that. How will we make it look like the beast is dragging them though? No, nah, not there. What if we do something illegal? Making it more difficult and wedging these chains in between the gaps besides the brick inside the monster's mouth. Oh god, what am I doing to myself? Oh, but it looks so good though. Yeah, I'm keeping that. Just gotta position the children just right and we're ready. This looks horrific, but so accurate to how it felt like to go back to school for me. I love it. Now all we've gotta do is add it to the others. Oh no, I have stumbled upon another issue. Okay, so in my first habitat I used this rope here to make these Chinese lanterns, but because this is here, I can't click this habitat to the wall anymore. So many difficult things in this video! So I tried to fix it by using one brick with a hole in it, but couldn't fit the stud through, so this is a fail. So I did end up cheating a bit and just hid the end of the string inside of the next door habitat. You don't notice it, right? Just squint again. But now we can fit the habitat. And while I was at it, I also rearranged the entire habitat stack because, you know, why not? It was mainly because of technical issues like stuff not fitting together, but look at the result! Isn't it totally worth it? Yeah, the habitats are now in a completely random order, but... yeah, I can't think of anything. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it that way, so let's move on. And would you look at that? It looks glorious on there. Perfect predecessor to next month's Halloween build as well. Oh, I spoiled the theme. But I mean, it was pretty obvious, right? But that's the video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. All my other habitat creations are linked down below in the description, and so is my social media. See y'all in the next video. Bye! Please subscribe.